should be just as good. So, I have to say that I'm from Traverse City, but we brought some cherry products, but honestly we were very excited to try yours as well. These pies look amazing, and we can't wait to celebrate that. We celebrate our favorite fruit in July, June and July. June 28th to July 5th is our festival this year. We have over 150 events celebrating cherries, from pie eating to pit spit, and you name it. So we are just very excited to kick off our media tour here. We came over on the Badger this morning, very eventful. So had a great time doing that in our vehicle full of cherries, and we're heading to a few other stops tonight in Minneapolis, and then we'll be heading back to Michigan tomorrow and ending at the Capitol in Lansing on Wednesday for Capitol Day in our home state, where we are going to have a resolution on the floor for Cherry Industry Day. So May 21st will be designated Cherry Industry Day in the state of Michigan. So we're very excited to be here. Thank you so much for welcoming us, and we do hope, if you've not already been to Traverse City to experience the National Cherry Festival, that you get to do so. We, not unlike you guys, have some royalty with us as well. We have our queen. Queen Tessa Nico is our 2024-2025 National Cherry Queen, and so we'd love to, of course, take our royalty on the road and celebrate the good news of cherries. So thank you so much for welcoming us today. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day, so thank you for picking it.
One other thing, we have 99.5% of the tonnage for the state here, so the cherry grower is like, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
I go with her.
Yeah, this is my husband Terry. He's the brains behind the operation.
I'm just
the face. So, you want to go around?
Dave Shorten,
Chris Lottbach, Lottbach's Orchard Country up in Fish Creek.
Amazing.
Sequest Orchards, we're up in Fish Bay.
That's it.
I feel like I need to get a map now.
Anybody?
Yeah, I was like, anybody else grow
That's it.
cherries here? I think that's, yeah. So, but thank you guys for coming. I know it's a busy time of year for everybody, so we appreciate you being here. And again, representing a lot of the acres that we have here. So, I also want to bring up Miss Door County.
Hello.
So, you've been Miss Door County for how long?
I got crowned in February, so
Okay, and it's Morgan.
Faith.
Huh?
Faith.
No, there's three, yeah, Faith. There are three royalty from Door County.
Mhm.
So we are lucky that we have Faith with us today. We have, you've got a Miss Door County team,
Mhm.
and then there's, for the first year in a long time,
First year ever.
yes.
This is the first title ever, so we have a Miss Cherryland, and her name is Hannah Marcus.
Yeah, so it's really exciting to have royalty representing Door County, and thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you for inviting us.
so one of the great things you get to do when you're rating, right?
Absolutely,
is
yeah.
promote cherries.
No, it's so much fun.
Door County has to offer. So, I think another thing we want to do is just talk a little bit about the cherry industry in our state, and kind of what we're seeing and how our crop looks like it's shaping up. So I'm going to ask Jim to just give us a little update on what you're seeing, and you
Just
want
as
to.
far as for this season, I mean, or?
Yeah, and then if anybody's got questions about
Okay.
kind of like the
Yeah.
economics of things,
Sure.
maybe you can't get out of
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome all you guys. It's great to have you here. We, I guess for 2025, everything looks, I think, quite good yet. We had interesting year last year where we had May and June were soaking wet and crazy amounts of moisture, and then it completely shut off from middle of July all the way through the fall. So we had, especially in the northern end, we really had the trees under stress and concern. The winter wasn't too bad, but it seems like things have come out okay, at least. I think we've dodged most of the frost. We'll still see what the effects of, we still up north have a fair amount to open yet as far as our bloom. But I think it's somewhat optimistic. We're hearing in Traverse City they've had a fair amount of frost, and everyone's had some wind and storms, so it's kind of a crazy start to the season. But we're a little bit behind where we've been the last few years as far as just degree day buildup. We're a little bit cooler, as you can feel it today. This is not normally quite this cool, probably, but you know, I think we're looking fairly normal. But our little area here, and like Terry said, we're really on the southern end. There's a few orchards south of here, but most of the production is here north, and it's all in Door County. And for as far as the state production of Wisconsin is, the tart cherry and the Montmorency variety in particular is all grown in Door County pretty much, except for a few orchards that may have some big retail connection down around Milwaukee or something like that. But most of the, the commercial production that's pitted and put in a container for industrial markets is all in Door County. So, and that has been ever since the late 1800s. They were first planted here, and it's kind of stuck. It was big time production here in the 1940s. Was the heyday of this crop. It was supposedly 1 year of close to 50 million. It didn't stay there at all though. There was only a handful of years over 30, and we're still able to produce probably around 15 million pounds today. So we've been able to kind of maintain the volume over the last 30 years, I would say. So that's in a nutshell, I guess, as far as where our products go. All of these guys that are here have a retail connection now, and our industry has changed quite a bit from just being producers. I think you see that in a lot of farming, especially when it's connected to population centers. We're connected as far as retail operations and UPIC and value-added products like jams or pies or wine. Chris, his family have made wine for a number of years out of fruit products. So that's really changed, and I think Door County has a lot of history of the Montmorency cherry and a lot of interesting stories. A lot of it was handpicked for years, right? We didn't start mechanically harvesting the crop until the 1960s. So that was a very colorful deal of all these hand pickers coming from all over the world, basically. A lot of them from Texas and Mexico and the Caribbean even. It was a crazy kind of thing when literally tens of thousands of people come to harvest this crop for 3 weeks. School kids and all kinds of stuff. And now we can mechanically harvest these crops probably with 10 harvesters with probably 200 people, where it was maybe 50,000 people in those days. So it's really, really changed. The product mix has changed greatly as well. In those days, a lot of the product would go into cans, either water pack or pie filling, and some juice, but a lot of it was put into cans. And we've went to freezing, and now a lot more of dried products and things like that. Dehydrated product has really changed the industry a lot, and the nutraceutical side of it too, of just that cherries are very good for you, and it's not just sweet. Most fruits are sweet. Tart cherries, obviously, with their name, are tart, and we kind of like that. So it is different. There's not a lot of people doing this. Maybe you know why, right, Dave? It's not the easiest business to survive in nowadays. But it's been a good crop for Door County, and I think even Traverse City is only 55 miles away, and it's very similar. We have stone here. They have sand. They have all sand, and we have dolomitic bedrock limestone at anywhere from sweeping distance to 4 or 5 feet down. So it's quite different, but the crop seems to do pretty well here. So I don't know if you guys have any questions of just the production region or anything like that, but happy to try and answer it.
Has there been efforts to expand it? I mean, you said there's a few down near Milwaukee, but like when I think of Michigan, we have orchards running down the lakeshore. But has that ever been an attempt to do that, or is Door County just so nice for it?
I think that the tempering of Lake Michigan, right, is the key, and you see that all through the Great Lakes. Most all the, not only cherries, but a lot of the tender fruits are around lakes like Erie and Ontario and even Huron. But the tempering effect is more helpful to the western side of Michigan than it is the eastern side of Wisconsin. Just from prevailing wind or whatever the reason is. Yeah. It is where Door County sticks out in the middle of the lake, so we've got the effect of the water, which sometimes can be interesting if provides fog and all kinds of crazy storms or whatever. But that's kind of the reason of why it's not in the middle of the state. You know, you see, like for us, sweet cherries, we're right on that. That's what's right there, so it's going to contradict what I'm going to say. Sweet cherries are challenging to grow. Cherry trees tend to die anyway. We kill a lot of them every year. Kind of almost good at it, but sweet cherries are really challenging to keep alive here because of the cold. Winter's tougher. Where Traverse City has more temperate effect. They can even grow some interesting wine grapes out of, Old Michigan Peninsula is almost, can almost grow some Chardonnays or something like that. Where we can't do that here at all, right? And so we've got a tempering effect. But if you go west of here, then it gets harsh and the winters are cold and it's a tougher climate to grow this time. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to Lisa Sequist for helping me set up our little display here today, and also for everyone who brought the product. So there's a lot of, Jim talked about the value added side of the business. So many of the orchards also have farm markets which feature excellent products. We've got some industry that just buys product from the processing plant, and we've got some of that represented here today as well. So I encourage everybody to sample some of the products. I can tell you everything that's here is excellent. I'd also like to give the group from Michigan an opportunity if they want to talk about what they're featuring at what you brought along today, for the festival. They also have some really cool artwork. I think you guys do a contest every year.
We do a student art contest. This is the winner this year. It was just unveiled a few days ago. So we love that, and we use that on a lot of our different shirts and mugs and print materials that we do. We have our signature cherry crumb pie from the Grand Traverse Pie Company. So that is of course in there. We have cocktail cherries. We have cherry yogurt covered pretzels, cherry coffee. We like to say that we put cherries in anything and everything so that you can, of course, distribute and have more cherries used throughout. So there's cherry jams, cherry vinaigrette, anything that we can find that we can have. And of course the chocolate covered cherries. We have both milk and dark, and then dried cherries of course our favorite Mount Morency.